Grüß Gott, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in Innsbruck, Austria. And today I want to talk about is what you should expect in an Austrian breakfast. And what I'm going to kind of more focus on is kind of the Austrian breakfast you should expect when you go to a hotel, because Austrians are like Americans, like Brits. Basically, we don't have time for a huge breakfast every single morning, so we're usually having toast and jam and bread and jam and maybe a Pop-Tart or some pastry or cereal. Yeah, that's your typical Austrian breakfast before they go to work with a cup of coffee, and we're off on our way. Same thing all around the world. But when you go to hotels, yes, there's a bit more, because I know when I'm in the US, I've got waffles, pancakes, bacon, and eggs at the hotel where I stay in the US, and I want to talk about that kind of breakfast here in Austria. These are the traditional, heartier breakfasts you're going to see, and I think it's important to start with this. You need to realize that breakfast in Austria is a lot about bread. Brot, okay? And you're gonna have fantastic fresh bread when you're here. That's why I always tell people, go to the bakeries. You're making a mistake if you don't go to the bakeries when you're here in Austria. You go get this fresh bread, and when you're at the hotels, literally, you'll probably have to cut your own bread, and it's fantastic. And there might be different kinds of bread. It's not just plain white bread. There's dark breads, there's rye, there's breads with seeds on it. It's so good, you're gonna have that. And when you have that bread, you're gonna have fantastic, Alpen butter if you like. But here, breakfast is usually that fresh bread, and then you put like a slice of cheese on top, or a slice of ham on top, or you might have some jam or Nutella, these kind of things. It's simple bread, with stuff on it. Not a sandwich, but literally just bread spread on. You can toast if you want. They actually have what's called Toastbrot, which is toasting bread, which is what you see back in the US with the the Wonder Bread kind of stuff, the toast stuff. They have that. But what's really great, what you really want to get are the Semmel. Semmel are the little rolls, the breakfast rolls that are there, and they can be all kinds. You might see pretzel bread. You might see the pumpkin seed rolls. I mean, there's the normal little like Kaiser rolls you'll see. I mean, there's so many fantastic rolls you're gonna have with breakfast, and again, with the cheese and the ham and stuff. Again, not a sandwich. No, can't do that. They'll be like, why are you making a sandwich out of it? It's not lunch. Okay, so you're doing like the open face kind of thing. So it's a very popular one. So do be ready for that. And you're really gonna love the bread when you're here. And when you're at the hotel, you'll notice there's like a pickle platter. And when I say pickle platter, it's more pickled platter, like you might see pickled herring, or sometimes you see, well, obviously pickles, the little onions, there's all kinds of little things like that are there. Also, they love spreadable stuff for the bread. It's not just, butter and jam. No. You might see, like basically, imagine the innards of a sausage in a pate. You put that on your bread, or you might have spreadable cheese you can put on there. Really, really good. I know it sounds weird, but it actually is really tasty. You can do that. You'll see like little, basically like a shrimp salad kind of thing you might be able to put on your bread, but you can tell it's something on top of bread. That's what you're gonna have. You're not gonna have pancakes. You're not gonna have waffles, okay? There's no Austrian waffle, no, okay? Pancake kind of stuff, well, there's a dessert, there's a dessert that has pancake stuff, but basically pancake's not a big breakfast thing, okay? It's bread. Now you have other things besides bread for breakfast. Obviously, if you go there, one of the things my mom always loves when she comes to Austria is the muesli. The cereal that's got all the grains and stuff in there that's definitely gonna make things move through your body, if you catch my meaning. And when you have your muesli, you can have that, but they'll have other cereals as well, like the stuff back home, Frosted Flakes or Frosties here. They'll have other normal cereals too, you can do that. But I think if you want something warm, what you're looking at is eggs, okay? And the big eggs they have for breakfast, hard-boiled eggs. But not just hard-boiled eggs, you also have soft-boiled eggs as well. And you'll see they'll have the hard-boiled eggs or soft-boiled eggs there for you. And there's a little saucer with a little raised part on it, and you put your egg on there, then you break off the top of the egg, and then you eat the egg out from inside of the shell when you have that hard-boiled egg. That's why I recommend the soft-boiled eggs, because then you can take that bread and dip it in the yolk. Oh, heaven, so nice. Also, you might have Spiegeleier or Rühreier, basically fried eggs or scrambled eggs. Like we're here in Innsbruck, and they love Speck, which is bacon. So it's actually the Speck is mixed in with the scrambled eggs, so you can have that. If you're looking for something lighter, there's always going to be yogurt for breakfast. That's another common breakfast that Austrians will have at home is yogurt, and you'll have plain yogurt, usually a fruit yogurt. And what's cool is there's always going to be like a side of like nuts and dried fruits that you can put on, and like oats and stuff, like different things you can put on your yogurt to make it a little bit more filling. And what's cool with your mueslis, you can put that on your mueslis to add more prunes or raisins or whatever to that as well. But yogurt is also a very popular thing. Also expect to have fruits at breakfast. Austrians are relatively healthy when you compare what traditional Austrian food is and you see what they actually have for breakfast. It's actually very healthy. And so there's going to be fruits there, not just dried fruits, but other fruits as well. Usually the seasonal fruit is what's going to be there. And when you're getting something to drink, obviously coffee is a thing here in Austria, right? Like it's famous for its coffee and cake culture and the cafes and everything. So having coffee at breakfast is kind of a given. You're gonna have that, and however you like your coffee, they can make you a cappuccino. You can have your just Schwarzkaffee, you can have your lattes, you can have macchiatos, you can have all that. Coffee's a big thing, but also tea is popular. But what's cool is when you come here, for kids or for people like me that are kids at heart that don't drink coffee, they'll have heiße Schokolade, hot chocolate. And yes, the hot chocolate here in Austria is fantastic. So if you're not a coffee person, go for that, all right? And if you're looking for like the juices they have when you're here, a lot of fruit juices, berry juice, you'll see that. But probably the two ones you'll see most is O-Saft or Orangensaft, orange juice. But then there's Multivitaminsaft, which is multivitamin juice. For those of you of a certain age, remember Five Alive? Tastes like Five Alive. And when you're at a hotel, you'll notice they will have milk there, but it'll be in a side, there'll be a jug on the side you'll pour out yourself. And do look, because there might be like almond milk, soy milk, normal, like cow milk, it'll be labeled, which is nice. And the thing is when you go out for breakfast at hotels in Austria, a lot of the times like they will clear your plates for you, so it's more the buffet kind of thing. Don't be wasteful, because there's what I see a lot of tourists, they just see all this food because it's buffet style and they just lather it on. Like they'll get their ham and cheese, like, oh, I'll take some of that salmon, too much salmon, or they'll take the herring and put that on there. They'll take other stuff. Don't take too much, because you can always go back, because then you can experiment with all the different rolls and all the different things. Instead of having a plate that looks like this, so you look like me, why don't I have a smaller plate so you can look more like my wife? So there is that. So I hope this kind of helps you know what to expect for breakfast in Austria in terms of at hotels, and if Austrians are having a fancy breakfast versus, the usual cereal, bread, and some jam kind of stuff that we all kind of have for breakfast anyway. Also, I think it's important to mention, you don't have to eat at a hotel for breakfast here. Going to those bakeries and having the Pfannkuchen, or the big donuts, the Klopfen, there's different words for it all over Germany and Austria. Basically, donuts, okay? Filled donuts kind of stuff. You can go to the bakeries and get those. Those are really great, because there's also a lot of pastries you can have for breakfast too. Those aren't as common at hotels though. That's why if you're doing like an Airbnb or apartment rentals, go to the bakery in the morning and get that fresh bread, get those fresh rolls. Hey, don't forget croissants. Those are originally from Vienna, from Austria, so they make really great croissants. And you might see a Austrian croissant, some places like to call it, that's actually a pretzel. Okay, because there's pretzel rolls, there could be pretzels too. And you go to those bakeries and you can just get bags of stuff there. And honestly, if your hotel doesn't have a free breakfast, it's probably going to be expensive to get. So you can actually save money by going to those bakeries and getting those baked goods. So I hope this gets you a little hungry for your trip here to Austria, and have a great breakfast. And I wish you all the best. And remember, Mahlzeit is like time to eat. So I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here in Innsbruck, Austria.